We're still in chapter 10, this is part 2. Feet pounding, fists clenched, I hit the tracker running. What's the tracker again? A what? Treadmill. I wish I could run outside, away from the sadness and shame in my house. Sweat trickles down the front of my gym gear, through my hair, across my face. I brush it away and glance back down at the tracker screen. There's a rise in the curve on the tracker screen, a simulated hill. Good. I've reached the peak of the workout, the most difficult part, the fastest part. The tracker spins below me, a machine named for the circular tracks where people used to compete, and named for what it does, tracking information about the person running on it. If you run too far, you may be a masochist, an anorexic, or another type, and you will have to see an official of psychology for diagnosis. If it's determined that you're running hard because you genuinely like it, then you can have an athletic permit. I have one. My legs ache a little. I look straight ahead and will myself to see grandfather's face within my mind, to hold it there. If there's really no chance for him to ever come back, then I am the one who has to keep him alive. The incline increases and I keep pace, wishing for the feeling of climbing the hill earlier that day when we were hiking, outside, branches and bushes and mud and sunlight on the top of the hill with a boy who knows more than he will say. The tracker beeps. 5 minutes left before the workout ends, before I've run the distance and time I should in order to keep up my optimal rate and maintain my optimal body mass index. I have to be healthy. It's part of what makes us great, what keeps our lifespan long. All the things that were shown in early studies to be good for longevity, happy marriages, healthy bodies, are ours to have. We live long, good lives. We die on our 80th birthdays, surrounded by family, before dementia sets in. Cancer, heart disease, and most debilitating illnesses are almost entirely eradicated. This is as close to perfect as any society has ever managed to get. What does eradicated mean?
Extinct.
Yep, extinct, gone. My parents talk upstairs. My brother does his schoolwork, and I run to nowhere. Everyone in this house does what he or she is supposed to do. It's going to be all right. My feet hit, smack, slap on the belt of the tracker, and I pound the worry out of me step by step. Step by step by step by step by step. I'm tired. I don't know if I can go any farther when the tracker beeps and slows to a stop. Perfect timing, programmed by the society. I bend my head down, gasping for breath, sucking in air. There's nothing to see at the top of this hill. Bram sits on the edge of my bed, waiting for me. He holds something. At first I think it is my compact, and I take a step forward, worried. Has he found the poetry? But then I realize that it's grandfather's watch, Bram's artifact. I sent a port message to the officials a few minutes ago, Bram says. His round eyes look up at me, tired and sad. Why did you do that? I ask in shock. Why would he want to see or talk to an official after what happened today? Bram holds up the watch. I thought that maybe they could get enough tissue from this, since grandfather touched it so many times. Hope shoots through my veins like adrenaline. I pull a towel from the hook in my closet and wipe it across my face. What did they say? Did they respond? They sent a message back saying it wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't work. He rubs the shiny surface of the watch with his sleeve to clean away the smudges where his fingers were. He looks at the face of the clock as if it can tell him something. But it can't. Bram doesn't even know how to tell time yet. And besides, grandfather's watch hasn't worked in decades. It's nothing but a beautiful artifact. Heavy, made of silver and glass. Nothing like the thin plastic strips we wear now. Do I look like grandfather? Bram asks hopefully. He slides the watch onto his arm. It is loose around his thin wrist. Skinny, brown-eyed, straight-backed, small. He does look a little like grandfather in that moment. You do. I wonder if there's anything of grandfather to see in me. I liked hiking today. I like reading the 100 poems. Those things that were a part of him are a part of me. I think about the other grandparents I have out in the farmlands, and about Kai Markham and the outer provinces, and about all the things I do not know and places I will never see. Bram smiles at my response and looks down proudly at the watch. Bram, you can't take that to school, you know. You could get in trouble. I know. You saw what happened to Papa when the officials got after him. You don't want them getting mad at you for breaking the rules about artifacts. I won't, he says. I know better than that. I don't want to lose it. He reaches for my silver box from the match banquet. Can I keep it in here? It seems like a good place, you know. Special. He shrugs in embarrassment. All right, I say, a little nervously. I watch him open the silver box and put the artifact carefully inside next to the microcard. He doesn't even glance at the compact sitting on the shelf, and for that, I am grateful. Later that night, when it's dark and Bram has gone to bed, I open the compact and take the paper out. I do not look at it. Instead, I slip it into the pocket of my plainclothes for the next day. Tomorrow, I will try to find a trash incinerator away from home to drop it in. I don't want anyone else to catch me doing it. It's too dangerous now. I lie down and look up at the ceiling, trying again to think of Grandfather's face. I can't bring it back. Impatient, I roll over and something hard presses into my side. My tablet container. I must have dropped it when I changed my plainclothes earlier. It doesn't like me to be so careless. I sit up. The light from the street lamps outside comes in foggy through the window, enough to see the tablets as I twist open the container and spill them onto the bed. For a moment, as my eyes adjust, they all seem to be the same color. But then I can see which is which. The mysterious red tablet, the blue one that will help us survive in case of an emergency, because even the society can't control nature all of the time. And the green one. Most people I know take the green tablet now and then, before a big test, the night of the match banquet, any time you might need calming. You can take it up to once a week without the officials taking special note of it. But I've never taken the green tablet because of Grandfather. I was so proud to show him when I started carrying it. Look, I told him, unscrewing the lid of the silver container. I've got blue and green now. All I need is the red one and I'll be an adult. Ah, Grandfather said, looking properly impressed. You are growing up, that's for certain. He paused for a moment. We were walking outside in the green space near his apartment. Have you taken the green one yet? Not yet, I said. But I have to give a presentation on one of the 100 paintings in my culture class next week. I might take it then. I don't like speaking in front of everyone. Which painting? He asked. Number 19, I tell him, and he looks thoughtful, trying to remember which one that is. He didn't know the 100 paintings as well as the 100 poems, but still, he knew it after enough thought. The one by Thomas Moran, he guesses, and I nod. I like the colors in that one, he said. I like the sky, I told him. It's so dramatic, all the clouds up above and in the canyon. The painting felt a little dangerous. Streaming gray clouds, jagged red rocks, and I liked that too. Yes, he said, it's a beautiful painting. Like this, I said, even though the green space was beautiful in an entirely different way. Flowers bloomed everywhere, in colors we were not allowed to wear. Pinks, yellows, reds, almost startling in their boldness. They drew the eye, they scented the air. Green space, green tablet, Grandfather said, and then he looked at me and smiled. Green eyes on a green girl. That sounds like poetry, I said, and he laughed. Thank you. He paused for a moment. I wouldn't take that tablet, Kesha, not for a report, and perhaps not ever. You are strong enough to go without it. Now, I lay down on my side, curl my hand around the green tablet. I don't think I'll take it, not even tonight. Grandfather thinks I'm strong enough to go without it. I close my eyes and think of Grandfather's poetry. Green tablet, green space, green eyes, green girl. When I fall asleep, I dream that Grandfather has given me a bouquet of roses. Take these instead of the tablet, he tells me. So I do. I pull the petals off of each rose. To my surprise, each petal has a word written on it, a word from one of the poems. They're not in the right order, and this puzzles me. But I put them in my mouth and taste them. They taste bitter, the way I imagine the green tablet would taste. But I know Grandfather is right. I have to keep the words inside me if I want to keep them with me. When I wake in the morning, the green tablet is still in my hand, and the words are still in my mouth.